Let me get this straight, Noor. We're in early to mid-July at this point. Last few days, it felt like June, though, again.
Yeah, we're getting certainly a lot of deja vu with that high heat and high humidity taking over parts of the country at different timelines, and that's going to be the story over the next week as well. Well, if you're wondering where the heat is currently, look to central and eastern Canada, even into large parts of the U.S. 31 in New York, 33 Kansas City, Denver, even hotter. We are starting to see some welcome relief for western portions of the country. Of course, the high heat that they saw caused a big problem when it came to the wildfires, and that is actually part of the reason why we're seeing smoke in the skies. If you've noticed, it hasn't just been cloudy, but there's a certain haze over parts of southern Ontario thanks to that wildfire smoke. Things are heating up, as you can see, in communities towards southern, eastern Ontario into Quebec. 28 degrees, feeling closer to 38 with the humidity tomorrow, and here are those thunderstorms rolling in. 10 a.m. approaching the 4 p.m. mark as well in Toronto. We'll see that activity also towards Cottage Country, Muskoka later on in the afternoon and early evening. And then we'll start to see some breaks as we head into the overnight. Tuesday morning, once again, bright and early with those thunderstorms, the GTA into Hamilton and towards the Niagara Falls area as well. We could see some sunny spots later on in the afternoon. Wednesday starting off the day with some sunshine, but we will see potentially some of that active weather later on in the week. Little relief in the overnight with this heat, so do be mindful of vulnerable communities. Pregnant individuals, elderly people, and children especially vulnerable in conditions like these. 28 in Milton tomorrow, 27 in Peterborough. Of course, a big difference when you factor in the humidity. Dry on Wednesday, it seems. Thursday, even brighter. And then Saturday and Sunday, some sunshine with some warm temperatures into the high 20s. Hey, thanks very much, Mark. Well, a good idea to heed those warnings from Environment Canada as we see some unforgiving temperatures in the next few days. As you mentioned, it's not just Toronto and the GTA, though. We're talking a lot of heat and humidity for southwestern Ontario to the east and also extending up to the north. We could use a lot of relief when it comes to Windsor approaching the 40-degree mark, even into Ottawa. But something happened the past few hours that has helped change things a little bit in Toronto. Lots of people having fun on the water. Nice to see that. 23 degrees is what we're measuring outside Toronto Pearson. And what helped is that thunderstorm that passed through earlier in the afternoon, significantly cooling things down by a few degrees. That cell seems to be tracking up towards the northeast, pushing through the Orillia and the Muskoka region. As we head through the evening and the sun starts to set, we'll see that activity start to die down, expecting for the most part quiet conditions into your overnight. But heading into tomorrow, once again, that activity bubbles up first into southwestern Ontario and very quickly into the GTA and into Cottage Country. So a quiet night, but a warm night tonight in Toronto. And then as we head into tomorrow, you will see those thunderstorms rolling through 9, 10 a.m. and extending towards the afternoon. Your high at around 28 degrees. Mark?
All right. Thank you very much, Noor.
Hey, thanks very much, Mark. Well, it was mostly a quiet day for the most part through much of southern Quebec. A chance to see the sunshine also, but up to the north, not the quietest of days as we see that active weather continue to bubble up the past few hours. A large portion of the province under a severe thunderstorm watch from central Quebec extending up towards the north. But we know with these temperatures that we're seeing, that does give that active weather a kick, help it develop. 32 Chibougamau, 30 in Bonnard, but we are cooking down in Montreal and Beauport with the humidity 36 degrees over there. As we head through the evening, the risk of thunderstorms remains towards the Val-d'Or area. A little bit slowly starting to see that die down a little bit as we head through the evening and the sun sets. Tomorrow morning, a renewed risk of thunderstorms a tad bit towards the Sherbrooke area. For the most part, could be seeing some showers, and then once again we'll see that activity bubble up towards Val-d'Or, Mont-Laurier later on in the evening. So your overnight in Montreal, we don't expect much aside from very warm temperatures. I'm sure you'll be blasting that AC overnight. And into tomorrow, 29 degrees with the humidex feeling closer to 38, and there is that risk of thunderstorms rolling in later on in the evening. Mark?
All right, thank you very much, Noor.
Over the next week as well. Well, if you're wondering where we're seeing the heat right now, look to central and eastern Canada. Things starting to heat up, extending towards northern Quebec, parts of Atlantic Canada, Ontario as well. New York, 31 uncomfortable degrees. Western Canada's ridge is starting to ease just a little bit, but that's for a short period of time. We'll see those temperatures continue to climb as we head into the latter half of next week. Of course, we know already that heat had caused quite a bit of problems over there with the forest fires, the wildfires rather, and even that has made smoke extend towards parts of Ontario over the weekend. Tomorrow, a lot more heat on the way for Montreal. 29 degrees, feeling like 38 with the humidex. And guess what? That active weather rolls through later on in the evening. We do expect a lot more active weather for other parts of the province in the next few days with those temperatures. Tomorrow, as I mentioned, a chance of light rain, perhaps a tiny risk of thunderstorms towards the Sherbrooke area. And as we head through the evening, once again, that activity bubbling up Mont-Laurier towards Montreal as well. Tuesday, we'll see a lot more of those thunderstorms towards once again, the Sherbrooke area, Victoriaville, even into Lac-Mégantic in the morning hours, and then again into the evening hours. So do expect we'll see on and off conditions as these cells roll through and roll out. Wednesday, the start of it at least, a bit more drier, some thunderstorm activity as you head to the north. Now, as I mentioned, those thunderstorms are normal when you have high heat. It gives us some relief, and it's a welcome sign for some as we see some dry conditions, of course, but what we don't want with the thunderstorms is the lightning, especially for those dry communities, and that is the case for many along the Gulf of St. Lawrence. Hopefully some of the thunderstorm activity that we'll see, especially today and into tomorrow, will help ease some of the dry conditions in those areas. 22 in Montreal tonight, 17 in Mont-Tremblant tomorrow. It's up to 30 now in Montreal, so not 29 degrees. Feeling closer to 38, as I mentioned. Tuesday with that risk of thunderstorms. Wednesday, 27 and windy. And then we'll start to get into some cooler temperatures Friday, seasonal, Saturday and Sunday, a tad bit above, some sunshine to start off the weekend.
They say trends